Let me ask you something. When was the last time you put off a doctor's appointment because you thought, I feel fine, why bother? If you're nodding right now, you're not alone. My dad used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Until a routine checkup caught his early-stage diabetes and literally saved his life. Friends, that's the power of prevention. Today we're talking about 4 essential health screenings every senior should get annually, not because you're old, but because you've got too much living left to do. These tests are like your car's yearly inspection. Quick, straightforward, and designed to keep you running smoothly for years to come. And the best part? They're often covered by insurance. Let's start with the first screening, one that could quietly save your heart. Screening number 1. The Heart Health Checkup. More than just a blood pressure cuff. Now, I know what you're thinking. They always check my blood pressure at the clinic, isn't that enough? But here's the thing. High blood pressure is called the silent killer, for a reason. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. That's why a full heart health screening includes 3 key tests. Blood pressure, you're familiar with that one? Cholesterol panel, a simple blood test that checks your good and bad fats. And an A1C test, which measures your average blood sugar over 3 months. Why does this trio matter? Because together they paint a picture of your risk for heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. My neighbor Martha thought her fatigue was just part of getting older, until her A1C test revealed prediabetes. With a few diet tweaks and daily walks, she reversed it in 6 months. Here's your action step. At your next physical, ask your doctor for all 3 tests. If your numbers aren't perfect, don't panic. Small changes, like swapping butter for avocado or dancing to your favorite oldies, can work wonders. Now, let's talk about a screening that's a bit uncomfortable but could save your life in more ways than one. Screening number 2, colon cancer screening. Yes, it's worth the hassle. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. Nobody likes prepping for a colonoscopy. But here's a story that might change your mind. My Uncle Frank skipped his screening for years, calling it too embarrassing. Then, at 68, he finally went, and they found a polyp the size of a grape. The doctor said, 2 more years and this would have been cancer. Now, if the thought of a colonoscopy makes you cringe, there's good news. You have options. The classic colonoscopy, recommended every 10 years if you're low risk, is still the gold standard, but there's also a take-home stool test fit kit you can do annually. It's discreet, easy, and mailed straight to your home. The bottom line? Pun intended. Colon cancer is one of the most preventable cancers if caught early. So whether you choose the nap and done colonoscopy or the DIY kit, just pick one. Your grandkids will thank you when you're still around to embarrass them at family reunions. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you had either of these screenings? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might ease someone else's nerves. And if you've been putting them off, what's one step you could take today? Maybe call your doctor to schedule that blood draw or ask about the fit kit. Because here's the truth. Aging isn't about avoiding the doctor's office. It's about owning your health so you can keep doing the things you love. Whether that's gardening, traveling, or beating your grandkids at Mario Kart, these screenings are your secret weapon. Up next, we'll dive into 2 more critical tests, including one that's as easy as breathing and another that could protect your most precious memories. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. You know, after we chatted about heart health and colon screenings, I got a message from a viewer named Linda. She said, I did my blood work and scheduled my colonoscopy. What's next? Well, Linda, you're ahead of the game. Let's dive into the next 2 screenings that could protect your bones and your brightest memories, starting with one that's as simple as standing on a scale. Screening number 4, cognitive health check, protecting your precious memories. This one's personal. My grandma was the queen of crossword puzzles, but in her late 70s she started forgetting words. We brushed it off as normal aging, until her doctor did a cognitive screening and found early signs of dementia. Catching it early let us adjust her diet, exercise, and medications to slow its progress. She still beat me at Scrabble until she was 85. A cognitive screening isn't about labeling you, it's about empowering you. It's a series of simple questions and tasks, like recalling words or drawing a clock. Takes 10 minutes tops. And if something's off, early intervention can make all the difference. Lifestyle changes, like learning a new language or eating more omega-3s, can keep your brain sharp. Here's my challenge to you. Next physical, say, can we do a quick cognitive check? Most doctors will cheer, yes. Because protecting your mind is just as important as protecting your heart. Now let's get real for a moment. I know scheduling these screenings can feel overwhelming. Maybe you're thinking, do I really need all this? Let me tell you about my buddy Jim. He's 72, rides his bike 10 miles a day and still does volunteer work. His secret? He treats his annual screenings like oil changes for his body. You don't skip maintenance on a classic car, he says, and he's right. So here's your action plan. Grab your calendar and jot down these 4 screenings. Better yet, call your doctor's office now and say, I want to schedule my annual prevention checkup. They'll know exactly what you need. And if you're nervous, bring a friend, treat yourself to a nice lunch afterward. Make it a celebration of you. Speaking of celebration, in the final part we'll tie all this together. I'll share how these screenings connect to living boldly, independently, and joyfully, no matter your age. Plus, a few bonus tips to make your next doctor's visit stress-free. But for now, I'd love to hear, which screening are you most committed to this year? Let's motivate each other in the comments. You know, taking care of your health is a lot like tending to a garden. You don't just plant the seeds once and walk away. You nurture them, check for weeds, and make sure everything's thriving. Those annual screenings we've talked about? They're your way of pulling out the weeds before they take root. And trust me, your garden is worth every bit of care. Let's take a moment to revisit what we've covered. First, that heart health checkup. Your blood pressure, cholesterol, and A1C are like the sunshine and rain your body needs to keep blooming. Then, the colon screening, which might feel awkward but is really just checking the soil for anything that doesn't belong. The bone density scan? That's your trellis, making sure your structure stays strong. And finally, the cognitive check, pruning the branches so your mind stays sharp and bright. But here's what I really want you to remember. This isn't about fearing age or chasing youth. It's about honoring the life you've built and making sure you're here to enjoy it. My grandma used to say, growing old is a privilege, don't waste it worrying. Do something about it. And she lived to 92, hosting poker nights and gardening up until her last week. So let's make this practical. Grab a pen and write down these 4 screenings. Better yet, tape this list to your fridge or bathroom mirror. Heart health trio, blood pressure, cholesterol, A1C. Colon check, colonoscopy or fit kit. Bone density scan, DEXA. Cognitive screening, 10-minute memory check. Now here's your homework. Pick one to schedule this week. Call your doctor, mark it on the calendar, and reward yourself afterward, maybe with a favorite treat or a walk in the park. My friend Clara schedules her screenings around her grandkids' birthdays. She says, it's my gift to them, more time together. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, I get it. Change is hard. But think of it this way, every time you prioritize a screening, you're writing a love letter to your future self. Dear future me, I wanted you to see those grandkids graduate. To travel to that place you've always dreamed of. To wake up pain-free and ready for the day. That's the power of prevention. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which screening are you committing to first? Or maybe you've already had one. Share your story. Your words could give someone else the courage to take that first step. And if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Every week, we explore new ways to make aging a journey of joy, not fear. Remember, friends, your best years aren't behind you, they're ahead. Here's to living them with strength, clarity, and a whole lot of heart. Until next time, keep growing. Your best years. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.